These are water shoes, 5 feet of buoyant foam that enable an infantryman to ford streams and swampy terrain. Each shoe weighs 7 pounds and is capable of supporting 350 pounds. Its inventors envision their use by soldiers when water is too deep for wading.
This is a 47-foot motor lifeboat, or simply MLB, of the United States Coast Guard. It's a primary search and rescue platform designed for heavy weather conditions. It can handle hurricane force winds of up to 60 knots and break surf up to 20 feet. The boat may even get flipped by the waves, but it has a self-righting capability with all the equipment remaining functional. But handling such conditions is not an easy task, and for this reason, the Coast Guard frequently conducts training exercises for the crew so they learn how to maneuver the boat in tough conditions. The MLB can be controlled from 4 different locations as it employs a fly-by-wire system. Since 1997, 227 MLBs have been built, with the oldest boat of this class nearing the end of its 25-year lifespan. In 2019, the Coast Guard signed a $190 million service life extension program that will extend the useful life of MLBs by 20 years. The cost of each boat is $1.2 million. Here is how airplanes land on an aircraft carrier, and it's not how you think. When preparing to land, aircraft are roughly at 85% throttle. Landing signal officers guide the plane via radio, and so does the Fresnel lens. The Fresnel lens focuses a series of amber lights into the sky at various angles. When the aircraft is at the correct angle, the pilot will see the amber light in line with a row of green lights. At touchdown, the pilot immediately throttles to full power in case the tailhook doesn't catch any of the arresting wires. This way, the aircraft will have sufficient speed to take off from the other side if needed. Most aircraft carriers have 4 arresting wires, and the pilots aim for the 3rd to reduce the risk of landing short. Catching the 2nd or 4th wire is acceptable, but to move through the ranks, you must be able to consistently catch the 3rd one. After the plane lands, it is moved out of the landing strip and chained down on the side of the flight deck. The Visby-class corvette has a 99% reduced radar cross-section due to its stealthy design, meaning that if Visby was 62 miles away from the enemy vessels, it could see them on its radar, but not the other way around. Visby could get within 18 miles of the enemy before being detected. This $184 million ship is 240 feet long with a top speed in excess of 35 knots, has a crew of 43, and only weighs half the equivalent-sized steel ships, as it's made almost entirely of carbon fiber reinforced plastic. As usually happens with new designs, the Visby-class corvettes were plagued with delays. Construction started in 1995 and the ship was launched in 2000. By 2008, the only weapon system integrated and tested in Visby was the gun. Finally, in late 2012, the first Visby entered service with the Swedish Navy. Only 5 such corvettes were built. While not classically beautiful, many naval officers fell in love with this ship's futuristic look, even though some call it a lunchbox. What do you think? This is Northrop Grumman X-47B Unmanned Combat Aerial Vehicle. X-47B is a technology demonstrator designed for carrier-based operations. In May of 2013, the aircraft was successfully catapulted off of USS George H.W. Bush, which was the first time ever a drone was launched from an aircraft carrier. Less than 2 months later, X-47B performed an arrested landing on the same carrier, the world's first landing of its kind. This aircraft is capable of semi-autonomous operations as well as fully autonomous aerial refueling. By early 2015, the 2 X-47Bs, which were nicknamed Salty Dog 501 and 502, had successfully completed all primary demonstration tasks required of them and were scheduled to become museum exhibits. But the US Navy said, "No thank you," we're paraphrasing of course, and decided to maintain them in flying condition.